He's a bit of a fan. It's been a bumpy ride, I can tell you. He's been riding that clutch all the way down. Oh, nightmare. Thanks for the lift, darling. That's really good of you.
Port pilot.
Oh, very nice. Oh, I'm really ready for work. I'm back on Loose Women. See you soon.
January, a day which has been dubbed Blue Monday because it is considered to be the most depressing day of the year for people up and down the country. But not here, because alongside me, Andrea McLean, are two upbeat ladies, Sally Lindsay and Carol McGiffin. And we are all smiling and perhaps feeling a little bit hyper because she is back. Please welcome our very own wonder from Wakefield, Jane Mcdonald!
I feel as if I've never been away. Lovely.
We're going to catch up with you in just a second. All right, Jane, but first let's see who is in the Loose Lounge today. It's the newest Ice Queen. To join the Dancing on Ice panel is Louise Spence. And filling us in on her hopes and dreams for 2012, it's the beautiful actress, Patsy Kensit. Now, Louis, there's a hot man in leather on the ice last night. Did that really happen, or was I just dreaming?
No, love, it certainly happened. The whole outfit's at my flat, and it wasn't leather, it's pleather. But it's fine by me.
Whoa, very nice. And Patsy, of course, you've already taken to the dance floor on Strictly. Do you ever fancy having a go on ice?
I barely could dance, so I mean, I think ice would be disastrous. Absolutely not. No, but I love the show. I love Louis on it. I think it's a brilliant addition.
Oh, thanks,
good.
You're well, really, I'm having a great time.
You know, that makes my job so much easier. If you have something that you want to ask Louis or Patsy, go to our website, email us at loose.women@itv.com, post on our Facebook page or tweet us using the hashtag #LooseWomen. Same addresses if you want to join in on any of our chats. Just make sure you get in touch by 1:05 p.m. today, Monday the 16th of January, and we'll read out the best later on. But first, welcome back, Jane Mcdonald! Seems possible, but it's been over a year since you've been away.
Yeah, it's about 16 months now.
What have you been up to?
Oh, I tell you. I've been up and down like a fiddler's elbow. I really have. I've been touring and touring and touring, so I'm a bit toured out now, so I'm glad to be back, you know, and I've really, really missed you all. I really, really have. Queen Jean is still in residence in Wakefield. I don't think she's ever actually got over the fact that she's not living with me anymore.
And for those who don't know, who of course there won't be very many, that's your mum that you're...
My mother, of course, is Queen Jean, because I used to live with my mother. I don't know if anybody knows that.
But stars you mean to go on,
I know, exactly. Some things just never change. But Ed the Shed is still in residence, ladies and gentlemen. It's still going strong.
That's
what,
just...
the shed?
Yes, the shed.
Yes. In the shed, in residence in the shed now.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because we've just been on holiday for 23 nights.
This is your fiancé, Ed.
Yes, my
fiancé. For those who may not know.
Yes, my fiancé.
Yeah.
A bit of a fiancé now. Yes, we're nearly legal, and we've just spent, you know, time away. 23 nights in the same cabin.
Uh-oh.
Oh. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It really, you know, because it's not good.
You've been with him, what, 3.5 years?
Yeah,
More?
yeah,
Nearly
4 years now, yeah, so it's
So you must have spent 23 nights together before just now.
No. Actually,
What
no.
do you mean,
We've always had a bit of a break in between. I think it's always good. You see, I've always said, Anton, I always think men should live next door.
Definitely.
I don't think they should live with us.
I don't want
Jane. It was all right.
Yeah, we had a lovely
Obviously,
time.
we've been busy as well while you've been away. Got a new panel member here, lovely Sally.
I love Sally, love.
We had a bit of a night at when was it, the Pride of Britain Awards, wasn't it? I was sat next to you, it was fantastic.
We did have a good
time. And I said, are you coming back?
I know.
And there you are!
I know. So it's your fault and Carol Vorderman's fault. So, but I'm really, really pleased to be back. I can't tell you how thrilled I am.
Oh.
Right, now huge congratulations to Peaches Geldof, who is due to have a baby boy in April with her fiancé Thomas Cohen. Now in this week's Hello magazine, Peaches has revealed that when she broke the news of her pregnancy to her famous father, Bob, on Boxing Day, he gave the couple some fatherly advice. Bob told the couple to get married and to be together forever. So is this sound advice for Bob to give Peaches, or do you think it's a little bit unrealistic in this day and age?
Well, sadly, I suppose it is a little bit unrealistic, but I think it's the right advice. I think that's what we should aspire to, especially if there are children involved. You know, I just think I think he's right to say that to her, but you know, I fear that young people, and she's still quite young, what is she, 22 or something?
Something like that, yeah.
They just don't listen, do they?
Well, she's already been married once, hasn't she?
She has been married once, yeah, and that was a disaster. It didn't last 5 minutes. But, you know, hopefully, you know, this is the right one. So I agree with that kind of traditional view that if there are children involved, I think you should get married, and I think you should actually look at it as if to say, you know, it'd be terrible if you turned around to her and said, yeah, go and get married, you can always get divorced. And that seems to be the attitude these days, and I think that's completely wrong, because
it's a good job we can. It's a good job we can for you and me. Of course.
You're allowed one mistake.
Oh, I know.
You know what, girls? It's not 1955, though, is it?
No.
You know, you can have children and not be married, as I am, and I have no intention of leaving Steve. It doesn't... being married doesn't make any... We are going to get married, actually, because I fancy the idea of it. But that's because I want to. It doesn't make any difference to our children or going to school anymore. I think that's a really outdated process.
But it might do. You know, Lisa Maxwell's not married to Paul. She admitted on this show that kids at school have already started saying things to her beau, who's only 10, and she started questioning why they're not married. I think it provides a much more secure environment for children.
A secure environment.
Parents are married.
A secure environment is provided by the love in the home. Nothing else. A piece of paper and a day will not make a difference to that.
No, but it just means if you're not married, it does make it easier to just walk away. It's as simple as that. People who are married
not
do
if you've got children.
If you've
got I don't know. We're having a row, kid. We're having a row. If you've got children, I mean, don't row me. I've got proper annoyed. If you've got children, it doesn't. You know, that will keep you together, even if you don't like each other for the rest of your life. I tell you, that's more a commitment. A mortgage and children is more a commitment than any day walking down an aisle in a white dress. I'll tell you that for nothing.
I don't think... Well, then what's the problem, then? Why don't you just get married?
I want to get married.
Also, you know, you've got to remember that, you know, he's got no rights at all over anything to do with the kids if you're not married.
Yeah, you have. You have some rights.
What?
Of course, because you're the legal father. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but obviously you've got rights because you're on the birth certificate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think it's an admirable sentiment.
Yeah,
you know,
I
and
do.
I think it's typical,
Oh, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that.
lovely fatherly advice, and I think it's exactly the kind of thing that you would hope that your father would say. You know, on Boxing Day, you've announced that you're going to have a baby with your fiancé, and you know, perhaps this has all been taken a little bit out of context. It may well be, you know, champagne glass raised, and may you stay together.
Yeah.
May you get married and stay together forever. It
Yeah.
could have been done in a lovely way. But I agree with.
And
with
do you know
It's
what?
about the love in the house,
and I
not
think that's
a piece
what
of
Bob means.
paper.
I'm a massive admirer of Bob Geldof. I think he's fantastic, and he went through hell with, you know, with his parental rights with the children, and I think that's what it's about. I think he's saying to his child, I don't want you and your husband to go, or your partner to go through the same thing. So he's basically saying stay together and love each other forever. I think it's about Bob more than anything. But, you know, I think, don't get me wrong, I aspire to it. I think it's a fantastic thing. The biggest gift you can give your children is to stay together, I think. But I don't think a ring on your finger, she says with one, makes any difference to that.
I tend to agree with Carol on this one. I think Bob should have maybe had the conversation with the girls before she got pregnant.
Right.
You know, because that is a commitment and it's a big thing to do. Bringing a child, obviously, as you both know. I mean, Carol and I, obviously the old spinsters on the end.
Oh,
here.
don't we don't.
Luckily, we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, I admire anybody who has kids, and especially out of wedlock. I mean,
When you got engaged, Jane, when you were younger, did you ask your father for any advice at all?
No, it was my mother. And do you know what? I wish I'd have flipping listened to her now. I know. And
don't listen though, you
yeah,
see.
I know, you see, both times she went, now are you sure you want to do this? And I went, well, yeah, I've got a nice ring and everything, I've got a party coming up, and dress and everything. And she went, yeah, but that's only one day.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to live with them after that. And I wish I'd have listened to my mum a bit more now.
Do you know, that is the annoying thing about parents. They're always blooming right.
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
it's annoying. It's really annoying.
Hello, Mum and Dad. Hi.
I'll tell you what, even if Prince William had come to our house and had a bacon sandwich with my mother's, she'd have went, he's not for you.
Right, it is break time, but still to come, we will be catching up with Patsy Kensit and finding out all the gossip from last night's Dancing on Ice with Louis Spence. First, though, take a look at who else is dropping by to see us this week.